Welcome to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, one of the most beautiful theme parks in the world. It opened in 1975 and has seen a lot of changes, but at the same time it's been able to hold true to its roots, and that's one of the things that I like about it. The park was originally developed by Anheuser-Busch, basically to sell beer, but it was done right. Originally known as the Old Country, it was designed to showcase European culture, and to that end, Busch Gardens has featured some of the best landscaping, architecture, and food at any park. We'll begin our walkthrough at the entrance. There are lots of winding paths throughout the property, and I won't show you all of them. Instead, I'll take you on a counterclockwise tour, staying on the main sections of the Midway. Well, except for right now, when I'm taking you down this side path, because there's a really nice waterfall here. Now, once you get your ticket, you're not really in the park. This is just sort of a mood setter. The actual entrance gates are down a little further. And that's the guest entrance over there from the parking lots. If you're in a certain section, you can just cut right through there if you have a ticket. And this is the actual entrance. So, let's go inside. No, the park doesn't normally sound this freaky. I had to reverse the audio track to avoid copyright police. The park is celebrating the premiere of its London rock show, and the background music is all British bands from the 60s and 70s. So, we're in England right now, an area known as Banbury Cross. And notice the ornate Tudor buildings. These are all gift shops. And up there over on the left is the Globe Theatre, where London Rocks is playing. As you might expect, it's a revue featuring British music and has some of the most phenomenal set designs I've ever seen. And if you don't think you're in England, just take a look up at the Union Jacks. That bus is a gift shop for the London Rock Show. There's the psychedelic facade for London Rocks. Busch Gardens is divided into 9 major areas representing different countries. Each area usually has just one entrance and exit, but also many cul-de-sacs. And as you're going to see, it can be an exhausting experience to have to walk through the entire park. So, fortunately, there's a shortcut, though it's not well marked, and there are also 2 other ways to get around. The steam railroad, which makes 3 stops, and the unique Aeronaut skyride, which also makes 3 different stops. We're going to head across this bridge, which, as the sign there says, leads to all the other areas of the park. Now, if we were to go across this bridge here and then take a left, that would lead us to Italy. But we're going to stay in the British Isles and head straight on for Scotland, also known as Heather Downs. Notice how the music in the background gradually changes to reflect the country. And Virginia gets really hot in the summer, as you might suspect, so thankfully the park has lots of shade. Now, over on the right there are the Highland Stables. That's the home for the famous Anheuser-Busch Clydesdale horses. That's not a horse there, obviously, that's a dog. There's the Tweedside Station, over on the left, where you can board the steam railroad. Looks like I'm trying to outdo J.J. Abrams here with lens flare. Now that path leads off to Ireland, but I want to show you something first. All that metal you're looking at there over on the right, those are the structure of the 3 different roller coasters. The lift hill belongs to the famous Loch Ness Monster, the first roller coaster with interlocking loops. The other 2 are Griffin and Alpengeist, which we'll see more of later. Now down here is the entrance to the Loch Ness Monster, but it's also that shortcut I told you about. If you follow the steep stairs over here on the left, it'll take you down to the Rhine River, and then you can cross a boardwalk on the river and you emerge in Germany. I think the Loch Ness Monster's coming around, but it's hard to tell. I can hear it. I guess not. So, let's head down that path to Ireland. There's the train and the station. There's the Aeronaut Skyride. And there's one of the Clydesdale horses going through its paces with a trainer. Because there's lots of water in the park, there are also lots of bridges. So this is the bridge over to Ireland, which is also called Killarney. This is one of the many nice water features throughout the park. And now we're in Killarney. In front of us is another one of the gift shops in the park, and this one has a lot of Irish-themed gifts in it, as you might expect. And somebody's sticking their finger in the statue's nose. And over on the right is Europe in the Air, which is a motion simulator ride. And next to that is Brogan's Pub. And that serves authentic Irish food and drink. It's very nice inside. And that's the Abbey Stone Theatre, which this year is playing Celtic Fire, which is sort of a river dance show. And then in front of us is the Castle O'Sullivan. And you don't really notice it at first, but that's actually another theater. And they have a magic show that goes on in there, which is especially enjoyable for children. And now we're moving into sort of a nebulous area between countries. It's known as Lorikeets Glen and is sort of a zoo. The park takes in animals that have been hurt and nurtures them back to health. And in front of us are a pair of bald eagles that can no longer fly. And below this bridge right here is a habitat for 2 gray wolves. Everybody's looking to see if they can see the wolves, but they can't, because the wolves are actually in the middle of a show, which is being performed in the area up here on the right. And I think we're just going to catch the end of the show, so let's go take a look.
And the secret is that our world, the one we all share, depends on predators just as much as they depend on it. And that means that they depend on every single one of you guys.
And there are always park employees wandering around this area with all sorts of animals that you can interact with. All of the employees at Busch Gardens are extremely friendly and knowledgeable. And up here on the left is another stage. It features Pet Shenanigans, another amusing show for kids of all ages. And here on the right is one of my favorite spots in the park. It's not only an aviary, but there's also a butterfly sanctuary in there, and lemurs and tortoises and lizards. It's like being out in the wild. There are even some cafe tables set up next to the butterfly sanctuary, and you can reserve one and dine surrounded by nature. There's Pet Shenanigans. So that's Lorikeets Glen. Now we're emerging into a much different area of the park, France, also known as Aquitaine. Over here on the left is the Aeronaut Skyride Station, and the blood-curdling screams that you're hearing are from this, Griffin. That right there is the Royal Palace Theatre, a huge amphitheater that was presenting nothing, evidently. A Cirque du Soleil show used to be there in the past. But there are all sorts of shops throughout here. There's the wine tasting you saw. There were the crepes, which are delicious. Hi. Let's go take a look at Griffin Station. If you were to go across that bridge and hang a right, you would get to an area that is sort of a little boardwalk along a pond. And Griffin has a spectacular splashdown ending, and it's a great way to cool off on a hot day. And if you had any doubt you were in France, And now we're entering the area known as New France, or Canada. As you can see, it has a much different rustic look. It also features the Caribou Station, another stop for the steam train. And that is the Trapper's Smokehouse, which serves mesquite barbecued food and baked beans. And a little further down on the right there is the entrance to Le Scout, which is a delightful log flume. If you feel like doing some shopping, you'll have no problem in this area. And that giant track in front of us is Alpengeist. And that means we're moving into a new section. Across this bridge is a tiny Swiss Alps section of the park. And the main reason it exists is because of that massive ride. Alpengeist is a B&M suspended coaster, and it's themed to a downhill ski run gone horribly wrong. And there's Le Scout with Alpengeist right next to it. Let's watch. You probably can't see it very well, but on each one of the cars in the train there are skis attached to them. Yep, the park offers some spectacular views of its rides. And now we're in the Swiss Alps section. I like the artificial snow. As I said, it's pretty small. That's it. Now from here, we're going to travel across into the first of the two Germany sections of the park. This one is the Rheinfeld, or Rhineland, Germany. The Father Time gift shop that's in front of us offers not only cuckoo clocks from Germany's Black Forest, but also beer steins, some of them absolutely huge. And there's also a really good resident glass blower in there. And there's a Christmas shop. Nice stained glass windows on the buildings. Another example of some of the nice architectural detail that's in the park. In front of us is the Willkommen House, and that has the spectacular mechanical clock that goes off about every 15 minutes. And also, there's an ice cream shop there that serves incredible ice cream. I had one there that had a waffle cone dipped in white chocolate and peanuts. That was quite delicious. And then over here is another children's play area. This is called Land of the Dragons. It's really nicely themed. There's the Loch Ness Monster going through its motions. And there's the other station for the Aeronaut over on the left. And right there, between the Aeronaut and the Carousel, is the other part of that shortcut I was telling you about. This is where you would come out if you took the shortcut in Scotland by Loch Ness Monster.
Welcome to the Carousel.
This is the Kinder Carousel that was built in 1919 by Alan Herschel. I'm not sure how we suddenly got to the Caribbean from Germany, but there it is. And this ornate iron archway leads us into Bavarian Germany, or the Oktoberfest section. And it also leads us to the end of the first part of our walkthrough. In part 2, we pick up from here, and then we continue on through the last sections of the park into Italy. Thanks for watching.